The girl who waited 8 years for one apology. There are stories that don't end with goodbye. Some people leave, but the sound of their footsteps stays in your heart, echoing softly through the years. This is one of those stories. The story of a girl who waited 8 long years, not for love to return, but simply to hear the words she never got to hear. I'm sorry. Emma was 20 when she first They sat at the same table where he used to read his books. He ordered the same drink, Americano, no sugar. You remember, he said softly. She smiled. Some things you don't forget. Liam told her everything. How he'd left for another country, chasing a dream that broke him instead. How he'd failed, lost himself, and spent years trying to build the courage to face her again. Then finally, he said the words she had waited 8 years to hear. Emma, I'm sorry. For leaving, for not saying anything, for everything. Her hands trembled slightly around her cup. The coffee was bitter, but her heart was calm. She looked at him for a long time and then said, I know, and I forgive you. A tear slipped down his cheek, and for the first time in 8 years, they both breathed freely. The last goodbye. They talked for hours that night about the past, about where they'd been, about who they'd become. When Liam stood to leave, Emma didn't stop him this time. She walked him to the door, the wind cold but gentle on her skin. Goodbye, Emma. Goodbye, Liam. Take care of yourself. He hesitated, and she added, her voice trembling, You don't need to come back again. I waited long enough to forgive you. Now I need to live for me. He smiled, the same quiet smile from years ago, and then walked away. For the second time. But this time, it didn't hurt. The letter he left later that night. Emma found an envelope on the table. Her name written in his handwriting. Emma, I used to think saying sorry was easy. But for the person you truly hurt, it's the hardest thing in the world. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want you to know, you were the best part of my life. If I could go back, I'd still meet you, even knowing how it would end. Thank you for waiting, Liam. Emma folded the letter and placed it gently into the box with all her old ones. Only this time she smiled. It was over. Not in a sad way, but in the way that feels like peace. Spring came, the lake thawed, and the memory cup was busier than ever. People came and went, some laughing, some crying, each carrying their own story of love and loss. Above the counter, Emma hung a small wooden sign. Every scar tells a story. Some stories just take longer to heal. When a young customer asked her, "What does the drink 8 years of waiting mean?" Emma smiled softly, eyes glinting like sunlight on water. It's bitter at first, but the aftertaste is forgiveness. They say time heals all wounds, but maybe time only gives us space to forgive, both others and ourselves. Emma waited 8 years, not for love to return, but to find peace in her own heart. And sometimes, that's the most beautiful kind of ending there is. Thank you for staying until the end of this story. Maybe we've all waited for an apology or for someone who never came back. But the most beautiful thing is learning to forgive and still smile when you remember them. If this story touched your heart, please leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more stories about love, hope, and healing. See you again in the next story.